What if I told you you're only 6 months away from the life you've always dreamed of? The money, the body, the mindset, but only on one condition. You have to show up every fucking day from here on out. Up until now, that's not a price you've been willing to pay. But the reality is, there are graveyards full of men that wish they could be in your spot 6 months to become the man you always knew you could be. Don't wait 10 years. Don't wait 10 minutes. Don't even wait 10 seconds. The time to start is now. 6 months away. I'll see you at the top, dog.
Whenever you try to do something out of the ordinary, people will line up to tell you that you can't do it, why you can't do it, that you'll lose your time, you'll lose your money, that you will in effect die in the desert. Even people who should know better will try to discourage you. To achieve anything greater worthwhile, you must train yourself to rise above these people, ignoring them and pressing on towards your goal regardless.
I'm not saying it's easy, man. But the results you get, you're gonna love them, man. It's gonna make all the sweat equity, all this pain right now, all worthwhile. The thing about pain is, like, you feel it right now, it's temporary, man. But later in life, you don't remember the pain. You just remember like the glory and the good times. When I was going through West Point, you know, or Ranger School, man, there were some really dark hours, dark days, and dark years of my life, man. But looking back on it, I mean, I just remember the good people and the good times. I don't remember all those fucking, you know, times where I was just so fucking done and worn out. I don't remember that. I just remember that I made it through it, you know, and that exhilaration of pride and achievement, man, that outweighs all the pain and struggle, you know, and that sweat equity to get there. It really does, as long as you get there.
Life rewards action, not intelligence. Life rewards action, not intelligence. Took me a few years growing up to really learn this. I think my sense in school was I did quite well on exams just through intelligence without having to do a lot of work. And for me, when I was quite young, I valued intelligence over action. And I think one of the dangers is smart people, that the smarter you are, the better your excuses. The more accomplished you are in talking yourself out of taking action, in proving to yourself that every action that you could take is too small, too meaningless, and not worth it. You cannot do everything, but you can do one thing, and another, and another. And that's the way you make massive progress in life, by doing one thing, and another, and another. This idea that life rewards action, not intelligence.
When you get to the point where enough is enough, when you get to the point where it hurt real bad, when you get to the point you can't take it no more, when you get to that point, I'm telling you, I can't explain it to you, but doors start opening, opportunities start happening. But what you cannot do is you cannot quit doing the process. You cannot give up because it ain't what you see. You cannot give up. What you got to do is, you heard it, you read it. I sent it out on Twitter. I told you, champions keep going when they don't have anything left in their tank. That's the difference between the greats. That's what separates them. When they don't have no more, when it's over, when they're tired, when they're frustrated, when they're ready to give up, when they spent their last dime, that's when they get started. Are you hearing me? It's when you have nothing left. It's when you depleted all your money, when all your energy gone, when you have nothing left. That's when it's showtime. When you find a way out of no way. When you find breath that you don't have. When you find energy that did not exist. When you want this thing as bad as you want to breathe, that's when you find a way.
There's nothing out there for me.
And that's the problem. You hung up your cape and your cow, but you didn't move on. You never went to find a life, to find someone.
Alfred, I did find someone.
I know, and you lost them, but that's all part of living, sir. But you're not living, you're just waiting, hoping for things to go bad again.
Most 22-year-olds, irrespective of domain, that's why I have these if you seek to be good at something, then you have a tremendous deficit in experience and repetitions that people who are ahead of you, or who have achieved what you want to achieve, have over you. And so the only thing that you have, now you do have an advantage, you have a couple. Number one is that you will have more energy than they do, period. And so your ability to work long hours, sleep less, and maintain high levels of focus while maintaining peak fluid intelligence is at its peak. Use it. The second thing is that you have nothing to lose. And so the thing is people always fear being the new entrant. But when you have nothing to lose, or you have nothing going for you, it also means you have nothing to lose.
Do I ever feel like Sisyphus? Yeah, of course I do. I mean, I do. And I'll tell you, I've thought about this, and I've been waiting for people to start saying like, oh, you put another picture of the sweat and of a squat rack. Really? But I don't know if they understand. I've been getting on that squat rack and grinding it out for 25 years, and I'm not bored with it yet.
If there is someone right now feeling lost, there is the chance in this lifetime to still bring out the very best version of that person. Yeah, there is the possibility. But like I also said, Kung Fu is not mastered in one lifetime. What it means is the biggest mistake a person can do right now, no matter in which situation you are, is to give up.
So this guy just passed me. He said, Goggins, just be average today. Some of you just don't understand. Some of you been average for so damn long, you don't know what it is to do hard work. But there's a lot of you out there who want to be much more than average, but just don't know how to do it every single day, the grind. You need to find someone to oil those fucking gears up. So check it out. This is a mindset. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But there's a motherfucker out there who wants what you have, who wants the position you are, who wants the job you have, who wants the wife that you have, or the husband. There's someone out there hungry and wants everything you fucking have. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But if it is, it's gonna be your ass. So make that a motivation for you. Stay hard.
Listen to me, more money. Listen to me, better relationship. Listen to me, a better life. Woo! That moment, if you want this moment for the rest of your life, like if you ready to take your game to the next level, in whatever it is, sports, life, business, whatever it is, health, listen to me very closely. You gotta change that mindset. So I told you, my boy Shannon Austin said something deep to me. He said, E.T., I told my son, forget what your coach said. We're not just taking 100 shots. Woo! He said, look, I told my son, we're not taking 100 shots, we making 100 shots. That's mindset. That's mindset. That's the difference between the average and the good and the great and the phenomenal. Is their mindset.
You know that expression I always say, guys? You burn the midnight oil now, otherwise you stay awake from the midnight hours wondering what if. We destroyed that here tonight. It's 2 a.m. right now. No one here. Mano to mano, me and you, and where we want to go tomorrow. 2 a.m. What I love about 2 a.m. is that we're not living by the clock, man. If you get the clock says it's 10 o'clock time to go to sleep, or 9 to 5 time to go to work, that's bullshit. If you're in bed right now and you're rolling around, you can't fall asleep, get the fuck up. It probably means you haven't done an honest day's work to earn that rest at night. 2 a.m., not a fucking person's here. I can scream my fucking ass off. No one hears me. I can cry. I can shit myself. I can put an honest day's work in here that more than anyone does in a week. And no one sees it. Because it's supposed to be that way.
The matter that you show up and try and act week after week, month after month, year after year, with a little bit of intelligence, you start to get better and better and better. You start to become more articulate. So this thing, even if the action is poor action, you're going to learn something from it. And it's so easy to talk yourself out of action, but it's so important to remember that life rewards action, not intelligence, not smarts in your brain, but action into the world. And discipline is necessary in our life in order to generate consistent, systematic action. But I think until you measure something that matters, you do not know if you're disciplined.
Seem like that's an unwinnable battle, but really, to me, it's not about winning. It's the battle itself. It's the struggle. It's the daily test. That's what life's about. Not just physically, but mentally. getting that rock to the top of the mountain, that's not what my goal is. My goal actually is pushing the rock. Because pushing the rock, that pushes me. That makes me tougher. That makes me harder, mentally and physically.
You might not reach the best version of yourself in this lifetime, but a better one than you are right now. The main point is to find something that you are not standing still where you are right now. At least prepare yourself slowly, step by step, to get out of that hole right now. But you have other people that you have also talked to in the past. I think if there is something in common when it comes to people that are not living in these holes, there's a reason why you are not in that hole. Because you have figured out another way of how dealing with this world. Your view has become already a little bit more clear about how things are functioning here.
You stuck. You cannot move forward. You heard me tell the story with the lion and gazelle. You still stuck. You're a gazelle. You are a gazelle. You need something to motivate you. What happens to the gazelle when the lion ain't chasing him? What happens is nothing. He stops running. Why? Because he always needs something external to motivate him. Now, I'm gonna show you this right quick. I'm gonna show you this, and I'm gonna get you out of here. I told you the story, but now I gotta visually show it. You see? This is why I work. This is why I grind. This is why I work. This is why I grind. This is why I work. This is why I grind. This is why I hustle.
If tomorrow wasn't promised, what would you give for today? Forget everything else. Forget everything else. Forget that there was any sunlight left. What would you spend today thinking about? Yourself or the man that's beside you? Or the man that you know you'll give everything in your heart for? We get one opportunity in life, one chance in life to do whatever you're gonna do, to lay your foundation, to make whatever mark you're gonna make. Whatever legacy you're gonna leave your legacy. And it's found through effort. Wins and losses come a dime a dozen. But effort, nobody can judge effort. Because effort is between you.
Like you're not working hard enough, no matter how hard you work. Never give yourself a break. Fail to fully feel gratitude. Be terrified of never reaching your goals. And still end up in a place that your 20-year-old self could not imagine you'd ever get to. Self-belief is overrated. Generate evidence, says Ryan Holiday. And this resilience of doing good things in spite of you not believing in them or believing that they're going to happen is pretty miraculous. That for all that I can say, you need to, I'm questioning whether or not it's virtuous to do something virtuous if you don't feel like you had any other choice. Ultimately, you can get to a place that you'd be very surprised by, regardless of how motivated you feel to get there.
Well, all of us are off work today, celebrating a man who fought for equality for all. Well, we have a long, long, long way to go. And this world isn't fair. It's fair enough. I see a lot of blacks, whites, women, lesbians out here grinding, getting after it, very fucking successful. So where's your excuse? I see a lot of finger pointing, tons of people blaming other people for different shit. One big thing is this: fear. Fear keeps a lot of motherfuckers from being successful. It keeps you making excuses for yourself. Fear lives one place and one place only, and that's in your mind. Martin Luther King had a dream. Don't let fear fuck yours up. Stay hard.
When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, when you ain't got nothing left in your tank, You got to think about the people in your life that you're doing this for. And then if you could think about them, you could go one more mile. You could go one more day at work. You can find a scholarship. Listen to me, when you're doing it for somebody else, when you like that lion, if I don't grind, if we don't grind, if I don't grind, they don't eat. Are you hearing me? So it's your boy E.T. saying, listen to me. This is it. I wish I could back off, but it's fourth quarter. I wish I could tell you something else. I wish I could tell you tired, go take a break. I wish I could tell you tired, rest for a year. I wish I could tell you that it's gonna get easier. I wish I could tell you it's gonna get easier. I wish I could tell you that if you just keep going, it's gonna get lighter. The weight is gonna get light. I wish I could tell you that, but that's not the truth. The truth is you gotta find something within.
Effort ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. So that team that think they ready to see you, they think what they seen on film, they ain't saw what film shows. Because every day is a new day. Every moment is a new moment. So now you got to go out and show them that I'm a different creature now than I was 5 minutes ago. Because I'm pissed off for greatness. Because if you ain't pissed off for greatness, that means you okay with being mediocre. Ain't no man in here okay with being just basic. So let's do what we do tonight.
Nobody else at the moment has the power to change you unless you have that initial spark and say, I must do something. I don't want this anymore. In order for something new to come, something old must go. And that old can sometimes mean let go of what you know until now. Empty the cup and start from the beginning. It's not easy to do, but at the moment it's the only way that I see how something that is blocked can be brought back to movement. You must spill the old tea and pour in new one. Then things look different.
It gives me much more than I give it. I want to struggle. I want to grind and claw and scratch, and I want to dig in and I want to push. And I don't want it to end. If I ever got the rock to the top of the mountain and it stayed there, I'd push it back down myself.
Yeah, just day after day after day, grind after grind after grind, airport after airport, driving mile after mile. E.T., aren't you tired? Yes, I might be, I don't know. E.T., aren't you ready to take a break? Yes, I might be, but listen to me, I can't. Why? Because I grind for Jalen. I grind for Jada. I grind for Dee Dee. I grind for my mother. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? I grind for Vanessa. I hustle for, so the days I want to hit that alarm clock, I think about my why. I can't quit. My son, $25,000 a year. I can't stop. He counting on me. My daughter, I can't quit. I can't stop. I can't get tired.
Because if you push through the pain to achieve the pride, you forget about the pain was ever even there. But if you can't push through the pain and the pain stops you and breaks you down, well, then that pain is forever. Because you never got pride to outbalance it, man. Going through this, man, you start feeling the pain. It's all good, man. Welcome it. Welcome it, man. Because right past pain, it's forever pride, man.
When life is over, it will be the people that we lived and laughed and loved with that we remember more than anything else. So don't be afraid to ask for help from others. It's a mark of strength and courage and character. And don't be reluctant to give of yourself to others generously. It's the mark of caring and compassion and personal greatness. The reason the Sahara story was so relevant for me was that because after the Sahara, I never felt that there was anything I couldn't do. I felt programmed for success for life, although it took me many years to understand it. And the reason why this story may be of interest to you is because I believe that everyone has a Sahara to cross, perhaps more than one. Many of you are crossing your own Saharas right now. Everyone eventually goes through periods of great difficulty, their own private hells, their dark nights of the soul. But it is by facing whatever life gives us with courage and determination that we grow more surely toward the stars.
Boy, I can tell bad times are right around the corner again. I can tell by the emails I'm getting talking about I can't get a break in life. I hate that damn mentality, but I can't get a break. You aren't given any breaks in life. You make them for yourself. We are all being tested in life. While my test is different than yours, you will be tested. And how you face that test and how you overcome that test determines the rest of your life. The one mentality that you must have in life is that regardless of what's in front of you, you still must grind. I'll never be in the Olympics. I'll never be a professional athlete, but still I grind. I fail at most things I do, but still I grind. I don't want to do half the shit I do, but still I grind. And that one day, you see me down a dark alley, run at 1 o'clock in the morning, know one thing. I was grinding. Stay hard.
Sure, how many words I wrote each day, how many words I wrote each week. And early on, it was very painful. It felt like I was putting a lot of energy into writing, but the actual number of words being produced day after day, week after week was very low. And it was only when I really got this measure and made sure that I looked at this measure each morning, each day, each evening, each week, each session with my coach, that I started to realize that so much of the effort was in my head and not turning into words on a page. And it's only when you measure something that really clarifies whether you're getting the actions done that you start to realize whether you have discipline or not. So be very careful in evaluating your discipline, your capacity to turn ideas into action by some measure of whether you feel like you're making an effort. Because your mind will cheat you into believing you're being really busy, you're being really putting a lot of effort. For me, it was brutal.
Right here. You may never get another one. Some of you, after this, there may not be another opportunity. Let me tell you what I tell athletes. The worst thing in the world is not good.
And so not taking the shot is like saying, life, I don't want to scratch off this lottery ticket, but the lottery ticket's free. Why would you not scratch it off and try it? And so the first advantage is you've got energy. Next advantage is you have nothing to lose. Third is you also have time. And you have very low responsibilities. And so you have not only the ability to put all of yourself into something, you also have no circumstantial things that are preventing you. Now, if someone is listening to this and like, I'm 25 and I've got a kid, cool. And you're going to have some traits. Now, I take things to the logical extreme and say, okay, well, Bezos has kids, Bill Gates has kids, Warren Buffett has kids. This is just if you wanted to be, business successful. It's like, okay, well then that can't be a reason that I can't be successful. And so whatever reasons that we usually give ourselves in the beginning for why we can't achieve something, you can almost always find not only just someone, but someone who's achieved world-class levels of success with worse conditions than you currently have, which then means it's absolutely possible. And then the only thing that it takes to get there is work.
I don't want to rest, and I don't want to coast, and I don't want to reach a point in my life where I say, that's it. I've done enough. I'm not going to give anymore. I'm not going to push anymore. No. That relentless cycle of day-to-day challenges, they aren't maddening to me. They don't frustrate me. They inspire me. Inspire me to drive and push more and to push harder. That's what that rock does to me. So I say, dig in and get to pushing.
You gotta find something within, and that's gotta push you, and that's gotta elevate you, and that's gotta drive you, and that's gotta move you. And when you find out what your why is, and your why gotta be deeper than you, when you find your why, you don't hit snooze no more. When you find your why, you find a way to make it happen. So let me just say this to you. If it was easy, boo, everybody would win the Rose Bowl. If it was easy, boo, everybody would be a national champion. Everybody would be a millionaire or a billionaire. Everybody company would blow up. Everybody would get a 4-year degree, a master's degree. Everybody would have a medical degree or a PhD or a law degree if it was easy. But it ain't. But if you find a why, if you find something greater than yourself to move you, then you will make every single dream become a reality.
If you quit, it's really easy to predict your future. How's that feel? But if you don't quit, if you go for it with no proof, You can't quantify it. People are going to call you crazy. Your friends are going to look at you sideways. But you'll have the opportunity to play in the game. Stop sitting on the sidelines. And you might fail for a while. And you might have to pay your success tax. And you might have to go through 7 failures, 9 failures, 12 failures. You might be sleepless at night wondering why the heck you're doing it. But on the other side of that, you get to see who you're meant to be, who God designed you to be, and tap into your full potential, and there's nothing better.
Once again, it's on. Motherfuckers want to know where Goggins has been. I've been in that mental lab. See, there's all kind of months. Some folks got sober October. They got all kind of shit before people go through trying to better themselves. I got fuck you every day. Get after it every day mentality. That said, when you push that hard, you go to the well. Well, my well was fucking empty. The cookie jar in there had stale moldy cookies. They weren't working no more. So I had to find something else. Had to get that conqueror's mindset back, where I just don't give a shit about anything. Just fucking grind. A lot of people out there talk about they're missing something in their lives. And they don't know what the fuck it is. You don't know what it is because you live in a soft environment 24/7. Learn to get out of it. Stay hard.
The feeling in me was I was putting a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of energy into writing. But those early weeks, seeing that it was resulting in so few words being written. Videos, make a video. A video is a very clear measure of whether you finished something or not. So again, reminder this week, life rewards action, not intelligence. Action leads you to grow, leads you to engage with others. Action, everything good in life happens when you're off the sofa and engaging with the world. So my hope for you this week is find a measure of something that matters. Pay attention to whether you're making progress on the actions that lead to that measure. And look at what needs to happen in your discipline so that you value action above thinking or intending to take action.
You don't need to say, I gotta burn the midnight oil so I don't stay awake in the midnight hours wondering this. We just erase that out of the equation. We're putting the work in now so we never wonder what if. Not run by the clock. Run by our desire where we want to go tomorrow. Our competition's fucking asleep right now. We're getting ahead of that competition. The margins between first and loser, the second place finisher, growing and growing and growing. They're all gonna fight for second place. They won't be able to keep up with you. That's being on the right path, man. Never looking back to our past. The past is great. We're proud of it. But it's not the current day. All that is created who we are right now, where life begins, and how we feel and where we want to go, using that information to excel ourselves to the future of where we want to be tomorrow, which is right fucking now, last I looked. Not when the sun comes up. It's when we're ready to get up.
There are some who drift out in the deserts of doubt, and some who in negativity wallow. There are others I know who in piety go because of a heaven to follow. But to labor with zest, and to give of your best for the sweetness and joy of the giving, to help folks along with a hand and a song, why there's the real sunshine of living. Carry on, fight the good fight and true. There's big work to do. Believe in your mission, greet life with a cheer. There's big work to do, and that's why you're here. Carry on, let the world be the better for you. So at last when you die, let this be your cry. Carry on, my soul, carry on.
Many years ago, I read where Napoleon Hill pointed out that the imagination is the most marvelous, miraculous, inconceivably powerful force that the world has ever known. And you know, the average individual uses the imagination, if they use it at all, against themselves. They imagine what they don't want. They imagine problems coming. Let's begin to use our imagination the way God meant it to be used. It's the greatest creative faculty that we possess, and we can build anything we want with it.
It's not becoming a millionaire that's important, it's the person that you must become in order to become a millionaire. You have to become a completely different person. You have to develop character beyond 99% of the people in the world. You have to develop honesty and discipline and quality relationships and the willingness and the ability to work and set priorities and all kinds of stuff.
And I can describe it to you in one short sentence so you can understand it.
Think and grow rich. Think and grow rich.
You gotta create dream boards. You gotta put the new car up on your mirror. Put the weight you wanna be on the refrigerator. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. That's the law of attraction. That's what you bring to you.
What you think and what you believe, it's what will come true for you. Your thoughts create your life. It's that simple. And when we can get that, we can make enormous changes.
Whatever you send into the universe sends right back at you. And when it's coming back, that's your law of attraction.
See, the big question is not what am I getting paid here? The big question is, what am I becoming here? Because true happiness is not contained in what you get. Happiness is contained in what you become.
What we give out, we get back. And what we believe about ourselves becomes true for us. Our thinking creates our experiences. There is a law of thinking like everything else, like all of nature. There is a universal energy or law of mind or subconscious mind, whatever you want to call it. But to me, it means the power that is within me and around me transforms my thoughts into experiences. Every thought we think and every word we speak is creating our experiences. And it's almost as though every time you think a thought or you speak a word, that universal intelligence or energy is listening or responding to what you are thinking or believing or saying. Whatever we choose to believe becomes true for us.
That clip we played there, what was it, 2013?
I said to my dad when I said, listen, by the time I'm 25 years old, I'm going to be a self-made millionaire. And he laughed at me. There's no one laughing at me now. I tell you that much.
See this? This is energy too. If you get on the frequency this is on, you can't stop it coming.
When you know what you want and you make a committed decision, you are on an exciting trip. See, when you see yourself as what you want, you put your mind on the frequency that it has to be on, and you're going to attract everything you need, and you'll get it right on schedule. Not when you want it, probably. You'll get it as you need it. Do you know the only prerequisite to getting what you want? Is you got to want it.
Now, science says, show me and I'll believe. Faith says, believe and I'll show you.
If you have a clear picture in your head of something that is going to happen, and a clear belief in that it will happen no matter what, then nothing can stop it. You know what I mean? It is destined to happen.
Seize the day, boys. Make your lives extraordinary.
You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. There are things that you're going to be able to do that eye has not seen, ear has not heard. There are things that you have in you that you don't even know, but until you get outside of your comfort zone, you will never discover it. You have something special. You have greatness within you. But in order to manifest your greatness, you've got to put yourself in a perpetual state of discomfort. Yes, you've got to challenge yourself. You've got to raise the bar on yourself. You've got to get busy. You've got to work your plan. Even if you've got a job right now, you've got to work yourself out of it. You've got to have an exit date where you say, hey, I've had it. It's time for me to do me, to pursue my dream, to work my plan, to implement the things that I want for myself and for my family and for my kids. And what is your legacy? What do you want to do for yourself?
If you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand.
Success begins in the mind. Whatever you can clearly imagine, ardently desire, and firmly believe, you can bring into your reality.
Any thought, plan, goal, or idea that you hold continuously in your conscious mind and that you intensely desire must be brought into reality by your superconscious mind. If you can hold it continuously, if you can emotionalize it, if you can visualize it, in your conscious mind, the superconscious mind will begin to organize the entire universe of experience around you to draw into your life the people and circumstances necessary to make that idea come true.
Do you know you can use your imagination to go into the future and bring it into the present? That's what all highly successful people do. They see where they want to go, and then they act like the person they want to become. It was William James from Harvard's advice. He said it's the actor's technique. Act like the person you want to become. We can take our imagination and build an image in our mind of how we want to live. Block out what's going now. Don't let your present results have anything to do with this. Just what you want. And it's with your imagination that you will build it. Everything that we have, the camera that I'm speaking to right now, was first created in the mind of one individual.
The imagination is the most marvelous, miraculous, inconceivably powerful force the world has ever known. Now, the imagination is the mental faculty out of which visions arise. Visions. Pictures that we build in our mind. Most people don't use their imagination constructively. Most people use their imagination destructively. They imagine what they don't want. We've got to consciously and deliberately imagine what we do want. If we will take and sit down with a pen and ask ourselves, what do I really want? And write it down. And then make a written description of it in the present tense. Writing causes thinking. Thinking creates an image. And you get these images going, you're building a vision in your mind. It's the visionaries that's changed the world. Think of that. The fact that I can sit and look into this camera, and you can sit and look at me on your phone, or on your TV, or on your laptop. That was the result of somebody's vision. You already have within all that's required to attract literally whatever you want into your life. If you can see it in your head, you can hold it in your hand, because that is the frequency. Match the frequency of the good you desire. If you hold the dream in your mind and you don't let the outside world control you, that space will fill in. The way will be shown. I believe that was written in the Bible.
Everything in your life you have put there and you've created. You are a co-creator with God. You always have been. You have to have an idea of what it is you want before you can create it. Otherwise, you have the whole world. Everything is out there. There are no limitations. You should know what it is you want, what you want to accomplish. The long-term goal and maybe the short-term goals along the way. Whatever it is, you visualize it and picture it and be able to fill it full of a lot of details. This makes it become real. But once you put it out there, then people say, okay, now how am I going to do it? Don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about, I have to do this and this and this to attain that goal. Because if you can see it in your mind as already done, already happened, it must occur. That's a law of the universe.
If you decide that you will be poor, there's nothing I can do. You're gonna be poor. If you decide to be rich today, who's gonna stop you? Who? If you decide you want to be rich, all you gotta do is start.
Your mental attitude is important because it acts as a magnet which attracts to you everything, every circumstance which makes you what you are and where you are.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Foundation of this is anything the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve.
The difference between successful people and non-successful people is here. If you want to be successful, you have to change this. What makes it hard is your lack of belief that it can happen for you. The fact of it is, though, it's very doable. This decision is yours and yours alone.
Get locked into your idea and stay in that vibration regardless of what's happening. When you do that, it will attract to you all things requisite to the fulfillment of that picture, and it'll attract it by the harmonious vibration, the law of attraction.
I ask not for more riches, but more wisdom with which to make wiser use of the riches you gave me at birth, consisting in the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever ends I desire.
Success is not something you chase. It's something you attract by the person you become. So act as if. It's not pretending, it's preparing.
Okay, let me show you this that I had in mind. Albert Einstein said that imagination is everything. It's the preview to life's coming attraction. That's what your imagination is. Your imagination is actually very, very real. Everything you've ever imagined is real. See, I tell young people like this. First of all, this is how your imagination works. You got to grab this concept. It is impossible for you to think an impossible thought. That is impossible. You can't think something that ain't possible. You ain't that smart. So if it's in your head, you got to ask yourself, how did it get there? That's God showing you a preview of a coming attraction he has for you. The problem with most people is you think your imagination is hocus pocus. It's really not. It's a preview of a coming attraction. If you react to your imagination, that's where your real life is.
Be very clear on what it is that you want. Spend 5 minutes sitting down and visualizing those things being true, and then give gratitude for that. Like, see it, feel it in your body, taste it in your mouth, hear it in your ears. Completely immerse yourself in that for 5 minutes, longer if you can. And then just be so grateful for all of that. Essentially what you're doing is moving your brain from a fear state to a trust state. And that is the gateway to making these changes.
Like attracts like. You have to understand, you are a magnet. Whatever you are, that's what you draw to you. If you're negative, you're going to draw negativity. You're positive, you draw positive. You're a kind person, more people are kind to you. So you're like a magnet. You know, if you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand.
When you stop thinking, there's a wonderful thing that happens in the brain when we become nobody, no one, no thing, nowhere, no time. That's the moment where we shut the mechanism down of thinking, and by focusing on nothing, on space, there's a recalibration of the nervous system back to more order, back to more wholeness, back to more oneness. And the closer you get to singularity, to source, to oneness, to wholeness, to absolute, whatever you want to call that, and you're creating from the field instead of from matter, every thought in the quantum produces a frequency. So the thought of your wealth in the quantum should produce the frequency or the feeling of abundance. And if you can experience the feeling of that ahead of the actual event, you're beginning to change information in the field. Keep doing that. Thought objectifies and conditions reality. So you create a thought form, and in time, all of a sudden you start having these synchronicities and these outcomes in your life.
You can have, do, or be anything you want if you controlled your mind. The law of attraction is basically saying whatever you focus on with energy and repetition is what you're going to tend to bring into your life. Most people don't realize that their thoughts are in the toilet. There are things like, I'm not good enough, it's not going to work out. All of these kinds of negative thoughts keep people shut down. They don't go for their dreams. What the law of attraction is teaching people is that you have a choice. You can change your thinking. Start to generate what you do want to think. And this is where things like affirmations, positive thinking, positive statements, instead of saying I'm not good enough, begin to say I am good enough. The reticular activating system in the brain responds to repetition, imagery, and emotion. Aim where you want to go by choosing what you want, getting an image of what you want, fueling it with passion and love. And then you can start to create it almost organically and automatically.
The thoughts we think and the words we speak are constantly creating our future. Our beliefs shape our life.
Have you ever asked yourself what differentiates the winners from the masses? Well, I have. I've researched the subject now for over a quarter of a century, and I have found that the winners are aware of a certain place within. It's referred to as the higher self. And in this higher self, there's an image of perfection, which is forever attempting to express itself in a greater way. When the winner wants to turn their dreams into physical realities, they call on this higher self. And they set about and change the world, not just for themselves, but for everyone in it.
Write everything you imagine down. Write it all down. Pray about it and watch what happens. You got to start believing in your imagination. But you have not because you ask not. So if you see the vision, but you don't ask God for it, what you want him to do? He showed it to you. Faith without works is dead. So now you got to put in work. Ask, believe, receive. So many people overlook this very simple quality. You don't have to figure it out. That's what freezes people. When you're trying to figure out your life all the way to the end, when you can't figure it out, it freezes you from trying it because you go, oh, well, I can't figure that out. Oh, I can't go over there because I don't know how. You don't have to know how. You have to ask, believe, and receive. That's as simple as it gets, folks.
You already have within all that's required to attract, literally, whatever you want into your life. You can see it in your head. You can hold it in your hand because that is the frequency. Match the frequency of the good you desire. If you hold the dream in your mind and you don't let the outside world control you, you will attract everything that you need, and that space will fill in. The way will be shown.
The most important thing in the world is what you believe about yourself. That's the most important thing. Your entire experience is fabricated out of what you believe about yourself. You know, I used to get down on my knees and pray all those nice little Sunday school prayers for years, trying to get a God in the sky to do something for me. And I didn't get very much until I learned that God wasn't working for me from up in the sky, but God is working for me from within my very own mind. And the verse of scripture brings this out. Be you transformed how? By the renewing of your mind.
If you say it enough times, it will become so. It really will, because you will be changing your thinking. It'll change your belief about yourself.
Okay.
And when your belief about yourself changes, the way the universe reacts to you will change. I think of life as a boomerang. What you give out, you're going to get back. Just like every time you throw a boomerang out, it's going to come right back at you. And so what we believe about ourselves and about life is going to become true for us.
The biology of belief reveals how our thoughts create our reality. And if you start investing in thoughts that are counterproductive, thoughts like fear, or what am I going to do, and how am I going to escape this problem, or how's this going to go wrong, and all these other kinds of thoughts that are negative kinds of thoughts, then realize this: you are actually not just using your energy for having these thoughts, but these thoughts are also what come into your reality. What you focus on with your thoughts, your brain will manifest as reality.
Whenever you attach the words I am with enough emotion and with enough consistency, you will become. I'm going to say that again. Whenever you attach the words I am with enough intensity and enough consistency, you will become. It's different to say I'm going to be bold or I'm going to take action versus I am bold. And you put yourself in the body, that feeling, that experience, and then you repeat it again and again and again, and locking it into your nervous system.
Here's an exercise for you. Take a piece of paper and write at the top, dream list, and then make a list of all your dreams. But what about this and what about that? No, decide what's right before you decide what's possible. Don't decide, well, we can't afford this and we couldn't do that. We go, stop. That's helplessness. That's habit. That's these old negative habit patterns holding you back. Before you even decide what you want, most people are figuring out why they can't have it. What you do is you say, wait a minute, if I had no limitations, and this is the key, you dream as though you had no limitations, and just simply decide, these are my dreams, and write them down. Project yourself into the future and say, where do I want to be in 5 to 10 years? If I could design a perfect life, so my life was perfect in every respect, my relationships, my income, my work, my family, my health, my home, my car, what would it be? This is the starting point of great achievement, because what will happen is that if you can clearly define that target, you can hit it. You eventually always hit the targets that you set for yourself, but you can't hit a target that you can't see.
You're creative. If you can visualize it, you can do it. It doesn't matter what it is. That's what Hill said. Anything the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve.
We can grow into anything we choose because we build the idea. It becomes the nucleus. It controls our vibration, and that dictates what we attract to us.
Success is something you attract, not something you pursue. Success is looking for a good place to stay. So instead of going after it, you work on yourself. Personal development. See, the major question to ask on the job is not what are you getting? The major question to ask on the job is what are you becoming?
Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve, regardless of how many times you may have failed in the past or how lofty your aims and hopes may be.
Do the thing, and you'll get the energy to do the thing. Just say, I'm going after it, I'm going to get it, and your present circumstances got nothing to do with where you're going.
If you wish to keep on the beam that leads to success, be sure that you give Cosmic Habit Force a thought pattern based on the things you want most in life, and it will do the rest.
$1 million isn't cool. You know what's cool? $1 billion.
We cannot attract anything in our life we feel separate from. We always desire things, we always want things, but when we're in the creative process, we cannot create from the lack of not having it. We have to create from the feeling of having it. A person now who's in that state where they're feeling like the event has already happened, they no longer want it. Because they're feeling the emotion of it. You only look for it when you experience lack. If you feel like it's already happened, you're no longer separate from it. And so feeling that emotion somehow starts to draw things to us, and now we're not having to do anything. The things are starting to come to us. That's the synchronicities, that's the coincidences, that's the opportunities. We're not doing anything, they're coming to us.
If you will say before you go to sleep, I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me tomorrow. And if you'll say when you get up in the morning, I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me today. And if all day long you say, I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me, you'll find that as you go to sleep the next night, and try this today, it's a very powerful exercise. It sounds a little bit corny, but it's a very powerful exercise. If you'll try it, you'll find that when you go to sleep, you will not be able to think of all the wonderful things that happen to you. You'll just be surprised that your parking spaces will open up and friends will call and you'll get checks in the mail. Just your life will be a series of really positive, happy experiences. So always expect the best. I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me today, and by the inexorability of a law of nature, it's going to happen to you. I can assure you it's happened to thousands and thousands and thousands of our graduates who will literally astonish you the effect of this corny little exercise.
What you hold in your mind on a consistent basis is exactly what you will experience in your life. Think abundance, feel it, and the universe will mirror it back to you. When your desire is strong enough, you will find the way. Hold the image of your goal with unwavering faith, and the world will bend to meet your vision.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same, as we are liberated from our own fear.
Gosh, it's so sad when somebody is in the right country and they got the wrong philosophy. Let me give you some examples on philosophy that can get you from $5 an hour to $6 an hour. Here's number one. Wait for the government to change the minimum wage. If you wait long enough, sure enough, the government will change the minimum wage, let's say to $6 now. You say yes, but how long will it take? Answer, I'm sure much longer than you want to wait. Here's number two. Wait for the company to pay you $6 an hour. How often is the review? 6 months, 1 year, let's say you don't make it. Second year, say, well, that's a long time to go from 5 to 6. It is a long time. Here's the third philosophy. We call it the philosophy of demand. Using the philosophy of demand, you cannot get rich. I demand $6 or I won't work. Now, if you're by yourself, this is a risky philosophy. If you've got 1,000 people now to take with you to the company and say, all 1,000 of us will not work unless we get $6, now you might have a chance. The philosophy of demand only works by collective bargaining. So you can't get rich by demand. Here it is, the philosophy of performance. I will perform so well that the company would easily be justified in paying me $6. These are philosophies to follow. Your income is determined primarily by your philosophy.
How do you predict these? If you can see it here, and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen. So a lot of times people believe in certain things, but they keep to themselves. They don't put it out there. If you truly believe in it, if you become vocal with it, you are creating that law of attraction and it will become reality.
Ask, believe, receive.
It's a choice. It's a matter of the heart. That your mindset could change your whole atmosphere. That you can turn your mess into a message and your test into a testimony.
It's a law of the universe called the law of abundance, the law of attraction. You can have anything you want once you know what it is. One of the main lessons you come to Earth to learn is how to manipulate energy. Everything is energy. And you come to Earth to learn how to manipulate that, to be a master manifester. First, you have to know what you want. And a lot of people say, well, I need this, I want this. Those are the wrong words. In creating your reality, if you say, I need, I want, well, see, you're creating a lack. And you're putting it off by, I want it. No, the wording is, I have it. And you got to believe it. Because if you can see it in your mind as already done, already happened, it must occur. That's a law of the universe.
This is the truth. If you can see it here, you can hold it here. If you can entertain the idea, you can cause it to move into form because you are in harmony or can be in harmony with the laws that govern your being.
You have got to start expecting great things to happen for you in order for it to happen. It is the law of attraction. It is real. It is nothing fake about it. The Bible says a man is as he thinketh. If you live your life in expectations, that's what happens to you. If you live your life in despair, that's what happens to you. If you say all men are dogs, you're gonna meet every last one of them. I'll never be rich, you won't. The moment you change the frequency that your tower emits, different things come back to you.
Now, the estimates by the experts in this field are that most of us are using somewhere around 5% of our real potential. Some experts say as little as 1%. It means that we're only giving about 5% of ourselves to what we're doing, to our days, our work, our families, everyone we know, our entire environment. But it also means that we're only experiencing 5% of the fun, 5% of the joy, 5% of the rewards we could be knowing, or less.
We don't experience life. We experience life we focus on. What's wrong is always available, so it's what's right. Whatever you focus on, you feel, even if it's not true. If you imagine something horrible is going to happen, you feel it. You're in your body, right? So focus equals feeling. Focus equals reality to the individual. At every moment, we're deciding what to focus on, but most of us don't decide consciously. It's based on habit. So we're not in control. But we can consciously choose what to focus on. If you constantly focus on what's missing, it'll make you keep pushing, but it's very hard to sustain deep levels of happiness because you're all focused on what's missing. I'm missing the love of my life. I'm missing this, I'm missing that. That puts them in a state of frustration, anger, sadness, or ultimately depression. Well, I'll give you one more. Do you tend to focus on the past, the present, or the future? We all do all three. The happiest people focus on the present.
I agree.
Right?
I totally agree.
So the key is flexibility.
Right.
If you focus on the past, you can't change it. So that's, unless you're focused on something wonderful, which most people don't, that's not where you want to spend your time.
I'm emotionless. I am zen, at peace, ready for war. If you can see it here, and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen. So a lot of times people believe in certain things, but they keep to themselves. They don't put it out there. If you truly believe in it, if you become vocal with it, you are creating that law of attraction and it will become reality.
He's the biggest man I've ever seen. I wouldn't want to fight him.
That's why no one will remember your name.
I want to reassure you that no matter what the night, no matter what the storm, no matter what the difficulty, there isn't anybody here that can't figure it out, find some things to do, step at a time, yes. Minute at a time, yes. Day at a time, yes. Week at a time, yes. But there isn't anything you can't walk away from. There isn't any challenge you can't overcome. I want you to have that kind of belief in yourself.
Nah, I feel confident because I'm the best player in the world. That's simple.
Connor, in February of 2013, we spoke for the first time. You didn't have a car, you didn't have a pot to piss in, all you had were blueberries. Now here you are with the undisputed gold. Enjoy it, my friend. You deserve it, you called it.
Yeah, from nothing to something to everything.
The first step before anybody else in the world believes it is you have to believe it.
I knew I was going to be the person to bring martial arts to the public eye. And now it's happening. You know what I mean? There's two things I've learned from these past 7 months. Number one is that hard work pays off. And number two is that dreams come true. And that's what's happening. It's a beautiful feeling when preparation meets opportunity. You know, nothing is impossible. You know what I mean? You can achieve anything.
Being realistic is the most commonly traveled road to mediocrity. Why would you be realistic? What's the point of being realistic?
Just put up a barrier.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. It's done. It's already done. The second I decide it's done, it's already done. So now we just got to wait for y'all to see.
Because despite my situation at the time, I always believed that, I don't know why, but it seems like I had some voice in my mind who told me that it's going to happen. How? I don't know, but it's going to happen. Then I'm like, yes, I'm going to do it. And that was just like 6 to 7 years ago.
Your words were your destiny. You spoke out your reality. You said, I'm going to do that.
Do or do not. There is no try.
The only thing that you can do is win so big that all of them constantly compare themselves to you, and then you'll forget they exist. Success is the only revenge. He's like, it's not the best revenge. He's like, it's the only one. There's no other revenge. Because everything else is petty. Everything else does show that you were thinking about these people all day long, which means they win by default.
People want to know where I find my strength at, where I get my strength. I get it from a lot of places, but right now, this morning, I'm getting it from, there's not a mother that's up. There's not a car, there's not a person. Everybody's in their bed, sleep, dreading that it's a Monday. Hate it's a Monday. And I'm loving it. I'm loving that. Where everybody's getting weaker, I'm getting stronger. It's not about the running, the swimming, the push-ups, the sit-ups. It's about what those things do for your mentality. You don't get better on the daggone couch. You get better by coming out here and getting the after it every daggone day.
Greatness is not meant for a few chosen people. It's meant for those who persistently pursue their dreams every day and make that choice when they wake up. So, just a mentality, really. Aspirations come from people that do amazing things, but they're really ordinary people just waking up every day doing it, doing the little things that other people aren't doing. So,
why do we fall, sir? So that we can learn to pick ourselves up.
What's the least amount of sleep you played a game on? Story where it's like, no one knows about, where you went and played a game and it was so insane for whatever reasons.
No sleep.
You played a game with zero sleep.
Zero sleep. Zero sleep. It's like, kids, Natalia had a certain, health situation or what have you, and you're staying up all night, and then you got to go out and perform because fans don't know. Teammates don't know, nor do they care, nor should they, that you've been up all night. You got to perform, right? And so you just got to go to work, man.
My hero. That's who I chase. Now, when I was 15 years old, I had a very important person in my life come to me and say, who's your hero? And I said, I don't know, I got to think about that. Give me a couple of weeks. I come back 2 weeks later. This person comes up and says, who's your hero? I said, I thought about it. You know who it is? I said, it's me in 10 years. So I turned 25 10 years later. That same person comes to me and goes, so are you a hero? And I was like, not even close. No. She said, why? I said, because my hero is me at 35. So you see, every day, every week, every month, and every year of my life, my hero is always 10 years away.
And there's only two types, winners and losers. Winners don't make excuses when the other side plays the game.
If you want to be great, you want to be the baddest motherfucker ever at what you do, you're going to be misunderstood by everybody because you're going to be so obsessed and so driven to get there. That's what it takes.
That's the truth.
It takes every second of your life. Anybody says balance? Yeah, balance is important for a lot of people. It is. But if you want to go to that edge where people do not like you, don't understand you, question everything you do, you've arrived. When you are misunderstood to the point where people think you're psycho and you're nuts and you're this and that, why are you in the gym at 1 o'clock in the morning? You just got through doing an op for 13, 14 hours at the Ranger School, man, at the gym. What's wrong? You will never understand what is wrong with me.
Make this note. Don't become a victim of yourself. Forget the thief in the alley that's after your purse. What about the thief in your mind that's after your promise?
There's people like us where we're crazy in the sense that we believe it's almost delusional sometimes.
Yes.
You have, like, what's the one, I've heard this quote on the JRE before, it's like, greatness and madness are next door neighbors and they just borrow each other's sugar once in a while. Bro, I can manifest like a motherfucker. Everything comes from the imagination. Everything comes from the imagination. So the power of the mind, people don't understand. We still don't understand. I still don't understand how powerful it is. I'm still learning. But I know one thing is I can make things happen. I can go into levels, I just can't tell the world, but like there's levels that like I've manifested things that I'm just like, I still shock myself, like how the fuck did I make that happen? And this is not even to do with fighting, this is to do with my personal life. And I'm like, I made that happen. And this is through this like manifesting subconsciously as well. Just years of something just manifesting, and boom, it's right there. I'm just like, shit, I really made that happen. It's scary, man.
Maybe it was your time to lose. You didn't think so. Lose! I don't lose! I win! I win! That's my job! That's what I do!
You can have anything you want if you want it badly enough. You can be anything you want to be. Do anything you set out to accomplish if you hold to that desire with singleness of purpose.
You know, two years ago, I had the goal in my head that I'm going to be the best player in the league.
And I've always had visions of better. I've always visualized better. And in times of struggle, like driving down in a banger of a car that I had to push start, I'd be still driving a soft top Bentley around beautiful California in my head. And lo and behold, now I am driving a beautiful soft top Bentley around California. So I always visualized good things. I always visualized victory, success, abundance. I visualized it all and it's all happening.
Everyone is jealous of what you've got. No one is jealous of how you got it. People see the trophies, but not the training ground.
Everybody wants the view, but no one wants the climb.
A negative mind will find any way to make the world fit his priors.
Right.
So if you go into a situation adamant that that you are unlovable, unwanted, broken, flawed, insufficient, you will manage to warp reality to be able to fit what you already believe.
That's how your mind works 24/7. It never turns off. You have got to change the way you think. It is the whole determining factor of where you go in life. We are all where we are today because we thought ourselves to this position. If you don't like the position, think yourself out of it.
Is there any limit to your ambition?
No.
Or any limit to what you think you can achieve?
Well, no. Because I think right now, if I was to quit rapping and I say I want to go to the NBA, I would be in the NBA.
No, you would.
Yes.
No, you would.
Yes, I would.
No, you would.
Yes, I would.
Why would you think you could make it to the NBA?
Because I think I could do anything.
Connor, you've been dreaming about this moment. You've been talking about this moment. Honestly, though, does it feel the way you thought it would?
Yeah, it does. It feels beautiful. I dreamt this so much, so clearly, so precisely, and so frequently that it has manifested itself into reality. And that's what I am feeling right now. It's a dream come true.
Everybody asked me the question. They wanted to know what kind. I know he's gonna wild out and he's gonna do something crazy. Everybody wanted to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
A few weeks ago, I was in the gym working out when this NBA player walks in with his trainer. I could tell by the exercise they were doing, he was used to doing just 12 reps. Because when the trainer said, let's do 15 today, he got a little attitude. It became very clear to me on why he was a bench warmer. Having that bare minimum attitude will keep me out on that bench. It motivated me though, It was locked in my brain. It's still there now on how he sounded. It kept me in the gym another 2 hours. The thing about it is this. It's not just the 3 reps that he failed to recognize. It's what happens in those 3 reps that make you better. Never do the bare minimum. Stay hard.
Connor, in February of 2013, we spoke for the first time. You didn't have a car. You didn't have a pot to piss in. All you had were blueberries. Now here you are with the undisputed gold. Enjoy it, my friend. You deserve it. You called it.
Yeah, from nothing to something to everything.
So this guy just passed me. He said, Goggins, just be average today. Some of you just don't understand. Some of you been average for so damn long, you don't know what it is to do hard work. But there's a lot of you out there who want to be much more than average, but just don't know how to do it every single day, the grind. You need to find someone to oil those ears up. So check it out. This is a mindset. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But there's a motherfucker out there who wants what you have, who wants the position you are, who wants the job you have, who wants the wife that you have, or the husband. There's someone out there hungry and wants everything you can have. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But if it is, it's gonna be your ass. So make that a motivation for you. Stay hard.
We will win. Because we will hit all game. We are motivated. We are dedicated. We will win. Because we are the best on the field.
I'm obsessed with finding myself now after and not having to prove anything to anybody other than myself.
The way I look at it within myself, why not? Why can't I be the MVP of the league? Why can't I be the best player in the league? I don't see why. Why can't I do that?
Yeah, I heard a quote one time from Vincent van Gogh that really rang true. He said, he has dedicated his life to his art and he has lost his mind in the process. And when I sat and I thought about that, it sounded very familiar. I have given every single thing, every ounce of my life to this craft, to perfecting my craft, and I continue to do so. And in the process, I have lost my mind, but in a good way, to regular society, to people who wake up at 9 a.m., who clock out at 5 p.m. They would look at me and say, I've lost my mind, but me, I have found it almost.
Tired, 14 days, 13 days, whatever the hell it is, don't mean nothing. Tired is only in the mind. You tell yourself you're tired, you're gonna be tired. I don't get tired.
You're crazy until you're successful. Then you're a genius.
There's this thing about people and they talk about manifesting. It's fucking real, man. Manifesting is real. When you figure out who you are and what you want to do, and you devote your life to it like a maniac, like you're all in on this thing, and you manifest, most of these people end up, doing what they say they're going to do and being who they say they're going to become. It's real. And there's no excuses. There's no fucking days off. There's no, everybody's against me and this didn't happen for me because of this and that and all this whining. There's these people who dive in and they're hardcore and they're focused and they know what they want. They know who they are. And they lay out these short-term goals and this roadmap on how to get there. Most of those people make it.
2 years in the gym, true wins, true losses, true life. I just realized that if you say it to yourself and you look yourself in the eye and look yourself in the mirror and truly believe that not a man alive can beat you, then that is the way it is. And just through hours in the gym and preparation, I feel that I am untouchable right now.
If a person would sit down and let their body relax, totally relax, okay, and then start to visualize in their mind, see themselves the way they want to see themselves. See how you'd like to live your life. See yourself living it that way. Now understand that that's a picture in your mind. Take that picture and describe it. Write it out in the present tense. I am so happy now that I see myself, and write it out. Start to read it and read it and read it and read it every day. Carry it around and keep reading it. The one point that all the great teachers all down through history have all agreed on, they've been in complete unanimous agreement on it, we become what we think about. Now, it may be fantasy at first, it might even appear to us as being a lie. But if you read it often enough, you'll start to believe it. I watch people in the personality change right in front of my eyes, and all they're doing is starting to see themselves different. They're starting to think different thoughts.
If you want revenge for the bad things that have happened in your life, start with the version of you that hasn't lived up to your potential.
I believe in the law of attraction. It's something that it's like an internal belief. So I just feel it in my whole being that I'm the best fighter on the planet. I honestly have convinced myself that I'm not designed to lose. Power of the mind, and I believe that that you can speak things into existence. And I believe that when you know where you're going and you know what you want, the universe has a way of stepping aside for you. Around 2010, 2011. I went through this huge spiritual thing where I became obsessed with the power of the mind. Meditation, visualization, and just realizing how powerful our minds actually are, like how we really do paint our world with our thoughts and our level of self-belief. So I took myself from being very average-minded to actually believing that I was the shit and believing that I could be the shit and that I could be the GOAT and be the greatest and never lose. I took myself to a different place mentally, and a lot of it came from mental practice and meditation and visualization and just seeking knowledge from people who are strong believers.
That you used to go up on Mulholland Drive and park
every night
and visualize seeing yourself as...
Yeah, I would visualize,
This is when you were broken poor.
Right, having directors interested in me and people that I respected saying, I like your work or whatever that is. And I would visualize things coming to me that I wanted or whatever.
This was in like 1987, 85,
yeah. And I had nothing at that time, so it was like, but it just made me feel better. It made me, at that time, all it really was for me was kind of making me feel better. I would drive home and think, well, I do have these things, and they're out there. I just don't have a hold of them yet, but they're out there.
All that matters is how you see yourself. If you see yourself as the king, you see yourself with all the belts and all everything. And no matter what no one else says, as long as you see that and really believe in it, then that's what's going to happen. You need to tell yourself if you're going to win or lose. And there is no opponent. There's no one. You're against yourself. I believe in myself so much that nothing is going to stop me.
The sky is the limit. And as a kid growing up, I believed that. I believed that whatever I put my mind to, and if I was willing to make sacrifices and I was dedicated, that I could achieve absolutely anything.
Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but doing it like you love it.
I love that quote.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do to be the best.
How do I gain more confidence?
It starts with yourself, man. You got to start diving into those things that you are afraid of. You don't gain confidence by going to the spot that makes you feel good. It's going to be a false reality. What gives you confidence, not being afraid, is overcoming the fear. I used to stutter severely bad. So right now, I don't know how many people are going to watch this. You know what gives me confidence? Is knowing I no longer care if I sit here and start stuttering to you.
Yeah.
That's what gives me confidence, is facing these things, overcoming them. And maybe not overcoming them every day, but facing them and facing them, facing them. Pretty soon like this, you know what, man, this is where it's at. It's not in that comfort zone. It's in the discomfort zone.
Because I want to be great.
And you're not.
I want to be one of the greats.
Man, bro, when you really want something, you're going to find a way, ultimately. And it might not be today or next year or 5 years or 10 years, but this thing takes priority and precedent over all other things. And even then in this life, it's not necessarily guaranteed that you'll get there. But I know what's not guaranteed is you being comfy and getting there. That's not happening.
We're not on the stage just because of talent or ability. We're up here because of 4 a.m. We're up here because of 2-a-days or 5-a-days. We're up here because we had a dream and let nothing stand in our way. If anything tried to bring us down, we used it to make us stronger. We were never satisfied, never finished, will never be retired. My high school English teacher, Mr. Fisk, he had this beautiful quote, and it read, "Rest at the end, not in the middle." And I took that to heart. I believe there's time for resting at the end, but for me, that time is not now. My next dream is to be honored one day for inspiring the next generation of athletes to have a dream, sacrifice for it, and never ever rest in the middle.
Could you do me a favor? Stop being scared to be you. Start being you. Fuck what they say. You keep running. Oh, they going. Fuck what they gonna say. Start being you. Listen, before you know it, life is gonna be over. And you're gonna say to yourself, I didn't live my life. I'm seeing too many people out here being clones of people that they never met just because they seen them on social media, and they put this whole show on, this production of their life is so great that you don't even want to be you, that you abandon yourself. I ain't gonna never jump outside of myself and be nobody else. I'm gonna be me. Start being you and stop being everybody else. Stop being scared.
You see this guy here staring back at you?
Yeah.
That's your toughest opponents. Every time you get into the ring, that's who you're going against. I believe that in boxing, and I do believe that in life.
Be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt. Don't be afraid of sacrificing some blood.